Okay, so this is my video on why I love Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm sure there'll be many more from many players that have played this. Well, that's the dawn. The dawn's early light coming. I'm staying at the inn in Sasau, and I really wanted to talk about this game, or this medieval simulation, shall we call it, that I absolutely adore. I'd go as far as to say it's one of the best RPG video games I've ever played. It is a bit clunky at times, it does have its faults, and it takes ages for it to get going. But once you get into the rhythm of it, it's just like having another place to go. It's like having a walk to go on, or an imaginary medieval village to visit.
Could do with a bite to eat.
And I could do with a bite to eat. So let's have something from the free pot of beans, which are scattered throughout the game. So what I love most about this game is obviously the attention to detail. It does feel like you're in a real medieval world, in Bohemia, in a real medieval town and setting. But also, a lot of fans have mentioned the passion that's gone into this game by the creators, Warhorse Studios, is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't feel like it's been rushed. It feels like the creators, who are a small team, genuinely wanted to make this game. The codex alone, let me show you this, is second to none. Look at this. Everything you do in the game has a footnote, so you can read up on the details of the time, get all the historical background, all the details and all the locations, all the events that happened during the time of the game. King Wenceslas IV and the Papal Schism with Sigismund, his brother. And unlike Skyrim or Fallout 4, where you're kind of in a sci-fi or fantasy land, this one really feels like you're reliving history, and you're learning about history as you go. So anyone with even a passing interest in medieval history would enjoy this game. The map is rather glorious as well. Let's show you the map just quickly. And the reason I'm making this video is because apparently they've hit something like 3 million sales for this game, which is pretty good. Came out in 2018. But I was surprised. I thought it'd be a lot more than that. And we need to get the word out about how good this game is. And we need a sequel. I've just completed it. There are overlong loading screens, and quite often the graphics and the NPCs aren't fully rendered or end up walking into a hedge by accident. But all those things can be forgiven for the general atmosphere and the sheer beauty of the code and the graphics. I mean, I've just spent what felt like 2 weeks in this monastery. It took me ages to work out how to get in, but once I was finally in there, the daily routine of the monks was so severe I couldn't wait to get out. And I don't think I even made it through a single day without being put in solitary for some reason or another. The head monks would catch you in a room you're not supposed to be in at a certain time. If you didn't stick to your schedule, you were reprimanded for it. And in many ways, it's a cruel game to the constant player in that respect. It doesn't reward you trying to rush the game. Like a few nights ago I thought, right, I'm going to finish the main quest. I'm going to rush to the end. And it would not let me finish. It wasn't like a final battle. It just went on and on and on. It's like, if you want to do this, first you've got to go and make 60 potions. And now you've got to go and buy a load of meat from the butcher's shop. And then we'll let you do the main quest. Okay, I'm ready for the main quest now. And now you've got to build something. You know, it just goes on and on. So anyone who's interested in epic tales, Game of Thrones books, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff, they would absolutely love this game. And also anyone with a passion for medieval history. There's so much I learned about life from this game. How hard things were for people. And also how fortunate it was for the hierarchy. See, look, there's just some guy doing a prayer here. This is a little shrine that's been set up to this lady, who's a bit of a Mother Teresa character. And she's developed quite a following in that she managed to heal a lot of sick refugees from the town of Skalitz, which is your hometown that gets ransacked early on in the game. Or at the very beginning, in fact. It's definitely a game I'll come back to again and again. She's busy at the moment, so we can't talk to her. But she's like the healer, the spiritual healer of the area. It's a game I'll come back to again and again. May even play it again from the beginning, developing a different type of character with different stats. So yeah, once I got inside that monastery, I couldn't wait to get out. I won't ruin it as to how I got out, because that would ruin the story. But this is a monastery where they're rebuilding this church. I'm wondering if we'll ever see that finished. So I finished the main quest, and now I've gone back in the story so I can complete the side missions, because I own the DLC for the game as well. But just to give you a general idea, I started playing this in September of last year after a head injury in real life, and I just completed it 2 days ago, so end of July the following year. So that's a good 10 months of gameplay. Not constantly, because I did put it down for most of winter and spring, and came back to it in the early summer. But basically came back to it when the lockdown came back in. And there's my trusty steed. He also has a dog as well, who lives at the mill, and he also has a girlfriend there as well. I'm not certain, but I think you can have a choice of who you date and who you don't date. I think the best thing about the graphics are the forest environments. So let's just wander through here. Warhorse Studios are recruiting for anyone who's got knowledge of medieval history, like scholars and so on. They are recruiting at the moment to make a sequel, which may already be in production, but I don't really know. But most of this information I got from Sexy Biscuit's channel on YouTube. Obviously you've probably seen that if you have any kind of interest in Kingdom Come Deliverance. He does all the videos, or they do all the videos, she does all the videos on Kingdom Come Deliverance, unofficial press, I think. But it's such a good game. I can see why Sexy Biscuit has dedicated the last couple of years of his channel to it. I mean, after I completed the game, I was thinking, there's so much here. I could go back and just make Kingdom Come Deliverance videos and be quite happy with that. My channel historically is a vlogging channel where I just talk about whatever tickles my fancy. And that's not always popular because viewers like to have a channel that specialises in one topic usually. But this game in particular made me think I could quite happily make Kingdom Come Deliverance videos for the rest of my days. A bit like, you know, channels that specialise in Skyrim or Fallout 4. It has that scope. And when I finished it, I thought, there is so much here to go back and look at. I mean, there's areas of the map I'm sure I haven't explored. Bit of spoilers here. This is the map with the cartographer perk unlocked, so I can view all of it. But down here, for example, I've done a bit of treasure hunting in the woods, but I haven't even ventured over here. I have no idea really what's up here. There's big chunks of land that I haven't been to. And as for this place, Privislavitz, that's currently where I'm developing my own town. A bit like a Civilization build. Or The Sims 2, but not quite that. That's the Tamagotchi part of the game. The living town that you can develop. And that's Skalitz, your old home that was ransacked. Yeah, so I've been a bit of a slave to the fast travel, going through the missions. But now that's all done, I'm quite happy just to wander the countryside. And with the lockdown, it's become a choice of, shall I go for an actual walk today? Or shall I go for a stroll in the woods in Bohemia? Not healthy, I know, but it's kept me grounded in these times. Unfortunately, I don't have many gamers near me, especially now in lockdown, and family don't play, so this sort of game has been an absolute blessing for me. There's the monastery we just passed. Let's go this way. Yeah, so I think that's going to do it. I don't want to ramble on too much. The combat's absolutely excellent. When you start the game, you can barely wield a sword. And the lock-picking is awful. But again, as the game goes along, that gets easier too, believe it or not. The sword fighting it begins... You just have to run away from enemies in the beginning. But as time goes on, you can learn sword play and you can get quite good at it. But it takes, 10 months to get good at any kind of skill, really. Alchemy is another one. Just show you the skills here. There we go. Here's all the skills that... There's a drinking skill, horsemanship, lockpicking 8. See, that's taken me 10 months to get to level 8 of lockpicking. And of course there are ways to, farm and manipulate the game to improve your stats, but what you have to understand about Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's not a game, it's a medieval simulation. And I think maybe a lot of people might have been disappointed because it was a difficult thing to actually game. It's something you have to live and experience. Let's talk to this guy. Oh, we can't talk to him. We can pickpocket him. Who's that over there?
What? In the house of God? Surely not.
Also, there's only so many faces, so you'll get to a stage where you've seen the same faces over and over on different NPCs. See, that's quite cool. They're chatting away and you can't interact with them, but they've got their own... Hello, dog. I don't think I'm welcome here, actually. I think I better move on. You can go into people's houses, but if you just wander into a random person's house, the local watch will be notified, and quite likely, unless you've got a very high persuade or speech skill, you will be going to the local lockup. I liked the way you couldn't GTA this game. There were rules, there were laws, and if you broke them, it just makes the game harder. You need to develop the cooperation of each town you come to. You have a reputation for each town you visit. If the reputation's good, you can get better prices for things when trading. If it's not good, people won't even talk to you. And you'll have to pay people off to even converse if you're unpopular in a certain town. I don't even recognise this place.
Everything for the house, garden and field. Now exactly.
Maybe I'm in Skalitz. Let's check. Oh, Samapesh. Yeah, I've hardly been here. And look, there's even a DLC quest nearby. So I might check that out. But thanks for watching. Not an incredibly detailed video, but I just wanted to share my enthusiasm for this game and say it's easily the best RPG I've ever played on a video game console. Oh, hello.
God save you. Take care now.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we could try it.
Is this enough?
Come now. Just a little more and we have a deal. See now, I knew we'd come to an agreement.
Alright, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching.